applause for Bryan Kett. Bryan Kett. One more time for Bryan Kett.
Hi. A few years ago, all my friends started having kids intentionally, and all these babies just appeared at once, like mushrooms that sprung up overnight, and everyone was expected to hold all of the babies, including me, but it freaked me out. Because when I was 9, I was forced to hold my newborn cousin, and I was only told what could go wrong. The adult said, well, support his head, but not too much. Cradle his body, but not like that. Don't you move, you will destroy him. And so I just sat there, terrified, watching the soft spot on his head pulsate like a time bomb. It was not a positive experience. My folks, they got a cute photo. I got a new anxiety, and still have it. Hear me out. If the best case scenario in holding a baby is returning the baby in the same condition in which you were handed the baby, why risk it? There's no upside. So I developed some tactics to avoid holding my friends' babies. I would say that I had a cold and I didn't want to get the baby sick, or I would always hold something else so I looked busy. I'd even have a couple of drinks just so I seemed reckless, and these tactics worked because they're brilliant, and I never had to hold a baby. And so earlier this year, when my friends Ryan and Angela welcomed their new baby boy, Leon, I had two thoughts. The first was that I was so happy for them, and the second was that when I see them next month around the holidays, there is no way that I'm going to hold that baby. But the other day, I went to Trader Joe's to buy some olive oil. I had been cooking more at home. I was feeling pretty smug with myself, and out by the shopping carts was a woman in her 70s, and she was holding an 18-month-old baby girl in a onesie. And the woman looked really stressed, and I thought, yeah, I'd be stressed too. That baby is all liability. But as I was walking past him, the woman called out to me. She said, excuse me, can you help me pull a shopping cart from the rack? Which I was happy to do because I am selfless. And I wheeled the cart over to her, but she wasn't done with me. That's how they get you. And she said, my shoulders aren't strong enough. Can you lift my granddaughter into the cart for me? And I froze. No one else was around. This was an ambush, okay? My heart began racing because there's no upside here, and I legitimately thought about just running back to my car, just getting out of there, running away. But the woman looked so overwhelmed, like she normally didn't provide childcare, and I softened just a little bit because she needed help. You know, it's not like I could say no, so I nodded, and I told myself, okay, you can do this. And I put my hands under her granddaughter's armpits with her facing me, and I lifted her up like Lion King, and the two of us just stared at one another just for a moment. Everything stopped. And then this baby smiled at me. And I felt this warmth, like this connection, like I was outside of myself. And it sounds naive to say, but it dawned upon me right then that I wasn't just holding a baby. I was holding like this new person filled with potential. And it was exhilarating. You know, so much so that I said out loud to no one, oh, I get it. And I didn't want the feeling to end, but I could see the gears turning in the baby's head, and I could see her starting to think, who is this guy? And then her smile faded. She inhaled, and she started screaming like an ambulance. I have never heard anything louder. And then she started thrashing. Suddenly, she's all muscle. The strongest baby in America. It's like I was holding an angry snake, and I kept trying to put her into the cart, but she was squirming too much to go. So I said to her, hey, please stop. But she didn't listen to me because she's a baby. And the whole time the grandmother was just frozen in terror, offering zero help. And then suddenly a crowd of like a dozen shoppers appeared out of nowhere, drawn to the chaos. And all they saw was an upset baby, a terrified grandmother, and some bewildered guy who looked like he just got caught trying to steal a baby. And then a Trader Joe's employee appeared out of nowhere with his walkie-talkie crackling, asking, excuse me, is everything okay here? As if an incident had been reported. And I thought, oh no, I'm the incident. And I had to address this. I had to clean this up. So I turned to the crowd, still holding this baby, but all I managed to say was, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong, which, not great. It's pretty much exactly what someone would say if they just got caught trying to steal a baby. And this made the grandmother snap to attention. She took her granddaughter back from me. Baby stopped crying immediately, by the way. So that's all for show. And then the crowd dispersed, and the grandmother just glared at me and stormed off into the store. And later, shortly thereafter, I was hiding in the frozen food aisle, just waiting for them to leave so I could buy my olive oil when they rounded the corner. Another ambush, and I froze. But the baby was just looking at me, smiling. And I had to smile back because I felt that warmth again, right? It was wonderful, right? Those moments of connection, however brief, like we need them as people amidst all the chaos of life, and we need to hang on to them, however, whenever we can. Like that is the upside. And so even though I never really thought it would be my future with babies in it, I have realized that I am ready. And next month, when I see my friends Ryan and Angela around the holidays, I know they're going to introduce me to their new baby boy, Leon, and I know they're going to put him in my arms, and I know that I am not going to need any of my tactics because I just cannot wait to hold him. Thanks.